started playing because I enjoyed it. I could go with my parents on the weekends to the tennis club that they were members of. My parents had asked me if I should or wanted to join the National Tennis Center, and I was like, no, I love being in Basel. I have everything I need here. I have a great coach. And then the Swiss Nationals came around, and I had an interview I did for the Swiss Tennis magazine, and somebody asked me if I could imagine, going to join the federation and play there and go live there full time. And I'm like, well, yeah, actually I could. My parents read the piece and they're like, but you told us like 6 months ago you're not interested. And I'm like, well, I guess I've changed my opinion. So they're like, okay, well, let's look at it then. Like, what's the positive if you go there, and what's the negative to go there? And we put it all in the mix, and to me it seemed like there was more positives than negatives. And if my dream was really to become a professional tennis player, maybe I felt I should do it, even though I had a great setup in Basel and at home. And then when I went, it was very exciting, scary in some ways, because I was only 14 years old, and I was in a foster family from Monday to Fridays, and only came home on the weekends. And I remember, crying and on the train on Sunday night at 6 o'clock when I had to go to Écublon, and I knew I was not going to see my family for 5 days. And then I came back on Friday. I was so happy finally when I could leave again. So the first 6 months were pretty brutal, actually. I think I was able to play the way I play today because of my fitness, because of my physical efforts I've put into it. I could not believe the balls I would be able to catch, on the court through fitness. And I feel like that connected everything. The moment I became physically strong, I would get to balls I didn't know I could get to. And then with my talent and my hand-eye coordination and my technique, I was able to pull off shots I never thought I could. And I think this is when it got really a lot of fun for me. That's when tennis went into overdrive, I believe. So, and then did I ever really try to play nice tennis, good-looking tennis? I don't think so. I think it just kind of happened, and I tried to look how did Sampras serve, how did Edberg volley, but I always told myself I cannot copy them, because that's what made them so unique. So if you copy them, you probably won't be as good as them, because that's came natural for them. So you have to find your own identity and do it your way. But you can look at them, what they did so good, and maybe use that for your technique or for your game. And I think I did that very well.
I thought it was somewhat hard to actually get to world number one. I mean, it is very hard, of course, but I was very close, and I was very nervous getting there. And when I realized that I was close and maybe never going to become world number one, I started to stress out. So for me, the time of getting to world number one was quite stressful, to be honest. And once I got to world number one, I actually started to relax, because I felt, you know what, I've achieved almost everything I ever wanted, and now I have a choice. Do I want to stay there, or was I just happy to be there once? And I decided I would like to stay there, so I worked extremely hard and tried to beat everybody and just have that mental determination and become just a different player, actually. And I really enjoyed being at the top. I definitely think the younger generation has pushed me to work hard, but I think I was doing that anyway, regardless of who was coming along. I always questioned myself.